Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Rage. Can the Knicks and Cypher and the Knicks? Can the Knicks go all the way? Can they win a chip? Knicks fans, can they win a chip? Is it this? Is this your year this year? Is it your year? Let us know, man. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Hoops World 0. You're now tuning in the Hoops World.
Hoops World.
We played that I want to kill everything in front of me. So
670.
we did it!
I hit the streets just to get a bag. I pack, he got toe tagged. I punched the nigga for shorty. I'm John Woo with the 40. You not gang or the homie. Don't blow me, no, you don't know me. Gang shit, members only. You wasn't there, I was lonely. You wasn't there, I was lonely. Dog nice blicky on me. I was just stacking my commas up. Head down, trying to run it up. These niggas be steady.
Yeah, man. So the Knicks, man. Knicks tape, man. Knicks had a really, really interesting offseason, man. Leon Rose, man. Like, what moves have this guy, like, he's gotta they gotta build. I don't know. If the Knicks win a chip, they might have to build a Leon Rose statue, man, because he's been cooking. So far we've had in the Knicks, shout out to Ian Begley. The Knicks have had an interesting offseason. So trading from Mikal Bridges was the I guess the biggest move they made, adding to the team Villanova Knicks. They gave Jalen Brunson. We got to talk about Jalen Brunson, man. He took a deal that could possibly really save the Knicks in the future. Like, this was huge. I think people really underestimated this deal that Jalen Brunson took because the Knicks had problems financial wise in the future, trying to keep the Villanova guys all together, and Jalen Brunson made that move to take less money, and then reselling OG. In my opinion, I think OG was a little bit overpaid, but hey, he's crucial to the Knicks. Let's start there. Let's start with OG first. What do you guys think about OG getting that contract? How important do you think he is to the Knicks right now? I guess you would say.
So at first, honestly, we go and we look at everything, and obviously they got Brunson and they were able to get DiVincenzo, but they made that trade at the deadline essentially to go and get OG Anunoby, and they
Yeah,
traded RJ Barrett and quickly to do so.
yeah,
But that was very pivotal, and we know obviously what type of player OG is, and for obviously he got paid quite a big bag, but after that happened and they traded, obviously for Mikal Bridges, and then they got Jalen Brunson to take a pay cut, like it was very, very crucial for them. And like we talked about, but with OG, it was like this is a guy that that they really needed, a guy who has that experience, but can that fits into their defensive mold, and obviously that has an offensive game of him, of himself as well.
yeah,
Along with all of the other offensive weapons that they have, still having Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and obviously now adding on to Mikal Bridges. It's pretty scary what they did. They did lose Isaiah Hartenstein to OKC, which did hurt them quite a bit, and we'll see how that goes. But I mean, in terms of everything, like, when we look at the OG, like it was big for them. It was big for them. Like, like it was RJ and Quickly. Like
yeah.
those were big guys, and essentially what they were trying to do originally, what we thought, and they made a move like that, and they're quickly onto contention.
Yeah. Before I let Cypco talk about OG, real quick, the Knicks were on a heater. I remember during the season when OG was playing, had a streak of wins. OG, I think they had to bite the bullet to overpay him because he was just so crucial for them when he was guarding wings, guarding big guys. Like, he's so crucial for their defense. And the scoring, the corner threes, because OG was hitting those corner threes. But go ahead, Cypher. Talk more about you think about OG, like, and the Knicks paying him.
I mean, yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It is an overpay. I think 5 years, a little over 200 million,
Yeah,
which is a lot of money for OG Anunoby.
yeah,
I do know that they had to do it. They gave up Barrett. They gave up Quickly,
yeah,
and when his on-off numbers, like a little bit of it is a small sample size, but in the games he's played, their on-off numbers are insane. Like when he is on the court, they are plus 22. When he is off the court, they are minus 13. Which
good.
there is some like small sample size. There's some lineup variations there, but overall, OG Anunoby is a very impactful player.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem with him is that he is very injury prone.
Oh my God, yeah, he is. Yeah,
Last season, he only played 50 games, and he has not played more than 70 games since his rookie year.
Yeah, that was very,
And we
very.
know obviously Thibodeau is going to play these guys. Like we know
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges is, he's had his streak of playing for sure. But we know that they take the regular season seriously, and that these guys will be.
Yeah.
Who knows how much all these guys. We'll
I have
we'll
a
see
ton of Knicks fans,
take it
like friends that
seriously.
are Knicks. I have family members that are Knicks fans. I have friends that are Knicks fans. So like, as soon as that trade happened with OG, I hit up my friends. I'm like, yo, this is a good move for y'all, but he is super injury prone. Like all I remember of him in Toronto was him getting injured over and over and over. Whenever they needed him the most, he was injured. And then you look at these seasons, he's been on the team. Whenever they need him the most, the elbow thing keeps happening, the injuries happening. He's just out. He's out of the lineup. So it's like giving him all that money and him being injury prone is a concern. But if he's healthy, it's a very scary team. So we're gonna move on to the Mikal Bridges, man. This was a huge, huge move for them. Again, the Villanova guys are all the Villanova four, right? Villanova four back together. They're all together. It's finally happened. Where do you guys see Mikal fitting into the offense? Real quick on Mikal. Again, they had to overpay because it's the Nets and the Knicks. They haven't made a trade in what is it, 25, 30 years. They had to, but Mikal teams were calling Sean Marks and was saying, okay, Mikal trying to finesse Mikal, but Leon Rose said, I'll give you this. And every team was just like, okay, you got it, bro. Five, what was it? 5 picks? You said 5?
Yeah, 5 picks for Mikal Bridges. That was 5. They
Like,
got Boyan and Shake Milton too. They were giving up some people.
yeah, so what do you guys take on Mikal? What do you guys see Mikal putting into the offense? Can he take? Is this the missing piece for the Knicks to go all the way to the finals? Beat the Celtics. Is Mikal the missing piece for y'all? Let me ask y'all that.
Well, I
Mhm.
mean, obviously he helps out. We know obviously he's gonna help out for sure. I mean, it was a good move for them. Obviously, it was definitely an overpay. I mean,
Yeah,
5 picks for a guy who isn't an all-star is definitely an overpay for
yeah,
sure. But we know obviously that there's already a chemistry there. He fits into their, defensive mode, although he didn't, have he did not have a good defensive year at all.
yeah,
With him, just being more engaged and more of like in a system, like he'll definitely look better, and he'll be, a good point. He won't obviously be, scoring like that at
yeah,
all. It won't be his job, and it might also, help him look better and make his defense look better. But ultimately, he helps them out, and they'll be a very, 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 they'll be a high seed. But I mean, it's not necessarily the icing on the cake for me in terms of everybody we have, or
yeah,
everybody we have, that's still in the East. There's still Boston. I still don't see them going through them,
yeah.
but he,
Philly
he
got better. Philly got better.
yeah,
The
Philly,
Bucks. You
you
still
still
have
have
the
to look at
Bucks.
you still have Philly, yeah, you still have Milwaukee, like you said, but
Yeah,
that it helps them. It helps them for sure. And you still have, like I said, you still have Julius Randle. You
mhm.
got, you got to chew you back, but
McBride's
Mikal
still
Bridges
there.
will help him out.
Yeah,
Well, he'll help, yeah, McBride's still there too.
yeah,
He'll help him out. He'll help him out. We still have to see, obviously, after this past year, and what he'll really do, but definitely should look better and more engaged in a system that the Knicks are running compared to what he was in Brooklyn.
go ahead, Sai. Bridges.
Yeah, I mean, he left a sour taste in our mouth because of last year, but when he
Mhm.
was in Phoenix, he was one of the best off-ball scorers in the NBA, one of the best catch and shoot guys, movement shooter,
Yeah,
off-ball cutter. He's gotten better as like on-ball shot creation while he was here. Nothing elite, nothing you could rely on a night-to-night basis, but definitely a guy that could give you 14 to 16 points on a night-to-night basis.
yeah,
Excellent on-ball defense when he doesn't have to carry an offense.
yeah,
Switchable 1 through 3, and because the Knicks are a good defensive team, OG could handle the fours and the bigger forwards, so Bridges doesn't have to.
yeah. That's a great point you made on Mikal. It's like when I first like thought of like Nick's Mikal, and I watched some film on the Villanova days, right? They have their offense is really a bunch of cuts. It's really Jalen Brunson centric, but then everybody's kind of cutting off Jalen Brunson's moves. Like he'll go to the rim, he'll throw it to Dante DiVincenzo cutting towards the lane. It's a whole bunch of off ball cutting. And so that offense that they have is kind of like Villanova centric. So Mikel's gonna know what to do as soon as he gets in there. It's just about getting your chemistry back with the other guys. Now, Knicks fans are probably wondering, okay, they've seen Mikel kind of go one on one in Brooklyn, but that's not really what Mikel is. He's not a one on one guy that's going to give you 24 points. If you guys see
He's not
Mikel
a
give you,
number one
yeah,
option.
he's not a number one option. Mikel's going to be on the Knicks, probably like a second, third option. but if you're looking for one-on-one buckets, that's not Mikal. Mikal's gonna give you off-ball cutting. He can hit a lot of threes at times. He's gonna give you some shots where he hits, like he breaks down his man and hits his fadeaway midi. He does his little fadeaway midi that always goes in sometimes. And when
And
he's
then
hot,
yeah,
he's hot.
consistently too
Yeah.
when he's hot. So
Yeah, so it's not going to be a huge amount of points, but it's going to be enough because Jalen Brunson needs any help he can get sometimes. Because sometimes we watch the Knicks and it's just Jalen Brunson or do or die. Jonte is a great shooter, but sometimes he doesn't hit. Josh Hart will give you great rebounds and defense and everything, but he's not really a reliable second option. So they're kind of looking for that reliable second option. Although Julius Randle didn't play, we still got to figure that out. But getting into let's get into that too. Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. What do you guys see? Like, can Julius Randle fit into everything that's going on? Because a lot of people think like I just read an article before we got on here that they were thinking about trading Julius. He might stay, he might go. Before even Mikal got there, they were thinking about trading Julius. They've been thinking about trading Julius for like years now, but he seemed to the Knicks keep trying to like give him a chance. What do you guys think Julius Randle fits? Like, do you think the Knicks possibly make a move in trading him, or do they keep him and say, okay, let's see how it works, keep him until the end of the year, and we'll see what happens? Go ahead, Rich or Siphon.
I mean, in terms of we look at Julius Randle, right? And ultimately it's like, right now if we ultimately like we look at their starting lineup right now, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we know Jalen Brunson will be starting. Well,
Mikal probably.
We know Mitchell Robinson will be starting. We know Mikal will be starting. And then what you have
You could play Julius at the 4. You can bring him out, or you could put OG. They're probably going to start. If I had to take a guess, it would be Jalen, Mikal, OG. I think Josh Hart and Dante come off the bench, in my opinion.
So then
That's
Randall and Mitchell Robinson as well would be the 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Right now, I believe with Randall, you'd probably just keep him around. Ultimately, obviously, you can go into the trade deadline and make a move and get off of him too, because I mean that's just an opportunity. But right now, you can just go into the season. And that obviously looks like a very good starting lineup, and you have good players coming off your bench. And they also, they drafted some guys. You have, Tyler Kolek, and then there's Bacombe.
Yeah.
But with Julius Randle, he'll be able to, you'll be able to, get a good glimpse of him. Obviously, he's kind of he's almost like a star. He puts up solid numbers.
All-star.
But if he doesn't play well, you can move off him, and there is value.
There is
There's
a lot of
something
value.
there that you could. There's something you could get off of.
Here's the thing, though, with Randall.
Mm-hmm.
He's on, this year, he's basically on an expiring contract.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. That's a good point. That makes things interesting because that's a valuable contract if he's expiring. Oh, my God. Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, they could flip him. They could flip him if he's bad at the deadline, or they could keep him. That's
and two, like, you got to think about their financials. They're not going to want to pay Julius Randle after a year from now,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, is he worth that? I think if I ask my Knicks friends, like I don't think they think Julius is worth. I mean, some too. Some really love Julius, but I think majority are like, well, we're okay if he leaves because they got the Villanova 4 now.
We know playoff Julius at the end of the day. We know playoff Randall. We know who playoff Randall is. Let's not get that twisted here. All right. But hey, the dude's talented. The guy's good, but there's a reason why, Knicks fans
he does go
aren't
ghost to the
necessarily
playoffs.
too high on this guy. Let's not have that on the radar. This guy goes ghost.
Let me wrap this up. Let us know in the comments.
Real quick, though, one last thing I want to mention.
Yeah.
Okay, there are some advanced metrics that say Isaiah Hartenstein was like an all-NBA impact player. We all agree Isaiah Hartenstein was good, but was he really that important to the Knicks?
That's a good point. I really think it's going to hurt them. Like that center depth that they have, I think it's going to hurt them if they don't fix it. I know they got Achua and Mitchell Robinson, but Hartenstein, Yeah, Hartenstein was really first of all, he was really good rebounder. He was great at rebounding, getting those second chance points, and then he was great at playmaking off that short roll. Like, his short roll passing was really opened up that offense for Jalen and,
He
like
knew he knew where to he knew where to put himself on offense too. Like he had his little like push. He had his
yeah, he
little
had the
like
push
push.
shot.
It is that was the good part about Hartenstein. And the thing
Mm,
is with the other centers that are still on the team, like bro, you think about Mitchell Robinson and you think about Jericho Sims. Well, Mitchell Robinson, this guy is injury prone. This
very
guy's
injury
injury.
prone.
And then you think about play style too. I mean, obviously, like you're just gonna have kind of interior play. A guy can set screens, but like
Yeah.
nothing too great. But and then health wise, but then Jericho Sims, it's what there's not much to say. There's
Yeah,
not
there's not much to say about it. So that center, that's gonna be one of the weaknesses in the Knicks, like that center. I think center depth is their weakness, and also like when they play big teams, because the Knicks small ball is gonna be great because sometimes you're gonna want to you can put OG at the 5. They can be versatile. They can be
Randall.
really small and be very, versatile, but it's like there are gonna be points where you play a big team and it's gonna look kind of messy on the boards. If am I wrong? It's gonna look kind of crazy on the boards. If Mitchell's hurt and you have Jericho Sims and and Josh Hart rebounding, Josh guarding fives. Come on, Josh Hart guarding fives. What are we doing? Like, it's gonna get crazy if they don't fix that problem. And I'm glad Cypher brought that up because that is definitely a concern. So going
Hardenstein
forward, Nick,
averaged 3.3 offensive rebounds per game.
there we go. See, there we go. So it's like that was a key loss. So going forward with the Knicks' weaknesses, it's really the offensive rebounding. The rebounding, how's the rebounding going to be affected with the center depth being compromised now that Isaiah is gone? Is Mitchell going to stay healthy? Is OG going to stay healthy? Um, I guess that's it. Yeah, if those are, I guess, main
And then
concerns.
and then maybe you go and look at your backup offensive creation. Your backup
Mm,
offensive creation. You have Dante, right? You have Dante, but like I mean, in terms outside of that, I mean, you're really banking on what, oh, well, Miles McBride.
Miles
Ooh,
McBride, yeah, they got Miles McBride.
ooh,
So,
they got
They,
Miles McBride. They'll
but
be interesting.
he's
they
not
also
really
got
It's just
campaign.
no
yeah,
playmaker,
he's
no
more
big
of a shooter,
playmaker.
off ball shooter to me. He's not more of like a
Yeah,
creation. He can create,
you're
but
gonna
he's not more. Yeah,
Kolick. You're gonna need some Kolick.
They also
Totally gonna be
signed.
good for him.
They also signed campaign.
Oh, they got
Oh
campaign.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so
Yep.
Cam could that's gonna help them out on the bench. They got a great team. Like I said, I think this next team is gonna be at least on 1 or 2, maybe 3, top 3 in the East. They're gonna be good. It's just
Should be
that
better than Milwaukee.
yeah,
Should be better than Milwaukee top 3.
getting through the East is the problem. Getting through that Philly and going through Boston, those are the teams I think we're gonna give the Knicks issues. So let us know in the comments how you guys feel, Knicks fans. You think this is your year? You think you're gonna win a chip? Hit that like button. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at HoopsWorld0. Appreciate you guys.